So then, how did you then get involved in this then? I mean, at some point you must have met Rob in a more of a social environment when he was a bit better, and then how did all this come about? This expedition to the pole.
Yeah. So Rob lost everything in Zanzibar. So he appealed to a charity called Dan's Fund for Burns for financial assistance when he left hospital.
Right.
And he received it and developed quite a close relationship with the charity, and was invited to the charity's 10-year anniversary, which actually was held at the Houses of Parliament. And it was a lovely social event, and I spent a lot of time chatting to Rob, and he mentioned that he had this dream of being an inspiration to other burn survivors, and that nothing is impossible, and that a severe burn doesn't stop you following your life's goals, and that he wanted to go to the South Pole, and would I consider coming with him as a team doctor. At the time, he was still relatively early in his recovery period, and it seemed like quite an abstract, hypothetical concept to me, and I just said, yeah, sure. And then over the months, we talked about it and laughed about it, and the concept grew from just a small idea, seed of an idea, to here we are, and training to actually go. So it's been a long journey. I'm from the Caribbean. I didn't grow up in the same way that Rob did, dreaming of being an explorer and following in Shackleton's footsteps and learning all the Arctic folklore. That wasn't something that was part of my upbringing, but it's something I've grown to understand.
Wow.
And be interested in. And, it's a fascinating subject. But Rob grew up with this, and I think it's fantastic that he is following his life's dream.
And this idea of walking to the pole, because I believe there was a time when walking, or certainly anything like this, was pretty much off the cards because of the injuries to his legs, really, his ankles, his knees, and also a hip replacement, I understand.
Yeah.
So could you tell me a little bit about that?
Again, not being part of not being his primary decision maker.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have had those conversations if he'd been directly under my care. All those conversations would have been, they're difficult conversations to have with somebody, to say, there's a chance you're not going to be able to walk again.
And why was that though? Why?
Because his legs were so badly burnt. So his ankles would have been very stiff. His knees would have been very stiff. His hips would have been stiff. Having been in intensive care for as long as he was, he would have had to learn to walk as if he'd never walked before. And as I recall, when he started, he wasn't doing very well.
And why did he have a hip replacement?
I actually don't know that. The technical reasons for it, I don't know.
But that's nothing to do with burns, though, is it?
I actually don't know. We can ask Rob. And
yeah.
There are some people who are born with hip problems, and when they're put under mobility stress, that problem, those congenital problems, can deteriorate and require a hip replacement. I mean, it would be, I don't, by no means I think his burn was down to his hip and injured the joint.
No.
So we can ask him what it was.